What's up, y'all? We are here at Windward at Lakewood Ranch, as you can see behind me. And this is a beautiful community built and developed by Neil Communities. They are a very, very well-known builder here in Lakewood Ranch and Sarasota in general, and have kind of grown and expanded and worked their way down into Venice and Fort Myers as well. So they've been around for a long time here in Southwest Florida. And we're gonna show you all the model homes that they've got here in Windward. They've got a bunch of them. We're gonna show you the amenities, as much of them as we can, and we're gonna talk pricing and what it costs to get in here and live in Windward. They're only about halfway done. There's gonna be just under 800 homes in the neighborhood by the time it's all said and done. Beautiful amenities already done and in. And yeah. Let's go check it out. All right, we're gonna take a look at the paired villas here in Windward in Lakewood Ranch by Neil Homes. First off, we are gonna look at the Tidewater. Now, these two villas, they're paired villas, so there's always gonna be two attached, so you're gonna have one shared wall between them. So this one's the Tidewater. This is a little bit larger, 1,500, a little over 1,500 square feet. And a little bit unique from a lot of the builders. A lot of the builders, the garage is fully attached. In here, you get this nice little front porch area with Neil. And can't get in there, but that's the door from the 2-car garage. So you'd park in the garage, you'd come out this door, and you go in your front door. So again, just a little over 1,500 square foot, 2-bedroom and a den, 2-bath, 2-car garage. So here's your den. Nice and bright. You get a lot of natural light with all the windows in here. And then you got the laundry room there. Very basic laundry. Here's your guest bath. And then your guest bedroom. Now these really are pretty much geared towards retirees. So as you can see, guest bedroom's not real big, but I mean big enough. You could definitely put a dresser there if you needed to. It's got a little walk-in closet. But really nice main living area here. Again, very, very efficient use of space. You got plenty of room here with the 6-seater table. Great island for a villa. These, you don't typically see villas with islands at all for the most part. And tons of cabinet and counter space. You got a little pantry here. Of course, again, Lakewood Ranch, we got gas. And a really nice great room. Got the tray ceilings, and then here's your primary suite. You got this angled wall here coming into it, which is very nice and big. I mean, look at all this space. You got this king-size 4-poster bed, you got the 2 nightstands, you got all this space, you get the dresser over here. Then here's your closets. Not real big, but for a villa, I mean, it's like I said, primarily, so you get a wall closet over here, primarily geared more towards retirees or, you know, no kid type people, dinks as we refer to them, double income, no kids, or single income, no kid, whatever works. Of course, obviously you can have kids in here. There's your throne room. You do have a second bedroom, so obviously you could have kids in here. You got the valve over here, which I appreciate, keeping you out of the cold water. So that's more what this is geared towards, is people without kids. They may not let me out. Oh, there we go. Got it. So again, this has the pocket sliders. That's an option. Pretty typical lanai for a villa. I would suggest to most people to go ahead and do the extension to give yourself a little bit more space. There's probably enough room back here to do a small pool if you wanted to. And I mean, this is your bedroom here. So your neighbor's lanai is over there. So you could theoretically put up a partition wall if you wanted to off the back of the house to give you some privacy if you wanted to do a pool or even a larger extended lanai here. You could definitely do it. So you got plenty of space. So that's the Tidewater, the largest of the villas that they offer here in Windward. All right, so what'd y'all think about the Tidewater? Interested in that villa lifestyle? Super low maintenance, easy, lock it and leave it if you don't want to live full time. If that interests you, stick around. The next video coming up is going to be another one, another villa, a little bit smaller, a little bit different layout. So stick around and check that out. And of course, make sure you watch all the way through so you can get pricing and what it costs to live in Windward. All right, we are here at Windward, Lakewood Ranch, Neal Communities, showing you the smaller of the attached villas called the Crystal Sand. This one's just over 1,400 square feet. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with a 2-car garage. Got this cute little front porch here. And so the villas are different here at that Neal builds. They build them a little bit different than most of the other builders. Most of the other builders, you go straight from the garage into the house. This one, they give you this little portico area, and I really like the extra decorative front porch that it gives you a little more space on doing it this way. But that's the door in from the garage, and then you'd come through to your front door here. And as you come in, they've got this set up as a dining room. You could definitely use it as a den if you wanted to as well. Either way. But it's more of a true 2-bedroom. But quite frankly, this bedroom is quite a bit bigger than the bedroom in the Tidewater. So if you have somebody who's going to be staying with you more often or for a longer period of time, as long as they only need 1 bedroom, this might be the better way to go because it's just bigger. The bedroom's bigger. Laundry is here, kind of in a closet instead of in a laundry room. So that, depending on your preference, may be a plus or minus compared to the Tidewater. Got a little linen closet here. And then your guest bath. Guest bath's basically the same from the Tidewater to the Crystal Sand. And then this door over here is your AC closet. Kitchen, nice. Nothing super fancy, but it's just nice size, doesn't take up too much space. Big island. Again, it's rare to find villas that have islands. So, you know, either way, if you really like an island, both of these have them. I like the extra trim work they added to the tray ceiling in this one. Nice size, great room. Pretty similar in size, I would say, between the two. And then they did the angled wall into the primary bedroom again. Bedroom's not as big. I don't think it needs to be as big. Crystal Sand versus the Tidewater. I think this is plenty big enough for me personally. And then you also kind of same setup here. You got the wall closet on this side and you've got the walk-in closet on this side. I like this bathroom setup better because you got the split vanities. You got extra drawers over here. You got extra drawers over there. Still got a really nice shower. And then your throne room here. So what do you think? Got the handle over there. Shower head over there. What's your preference? Crystal sand or Tidewater? Those are the two different choices. Like I said, crystal sand's about 100 square feet smaller. Here's your lanai. Lanais are gonna be pretty much the same size. And again, they show you the extended lanai, which again, I would definitely recommend on either one of them. All right, now you've seen the two villas that they have here in Windward. Which one do you like better? Crystal sand or the Tidewater? Drop it in the comments. And if villas are your thing, that's the way you want to go, give us a call. The number's on the screen. You can call us, you can text us there. Otherwise, if villas are not your thing and you're looking more for the single family homes, don't worry, they're coming up. So stick around for that. We still got to show you the amenities. And then of course, we're going to talk pricing and what it costs to actually live in this neighborhood. All right, here we go. This is the dream. This is the single story floor plan model example of the 33-foot wide homes. So 2-car garage, 3-bed and a den, 2-bath, 2-car garage, just under 1,900 square foot. You got a really nice, cute little front porch here. When you come in, again, this is a different layout. If you've watched any of our videos on any other communities and any of the other builders, really unique setup here. You got the den right here when you come in. Got a little bit of a jog to the right here to get to the foyer. You got a little drop zone here. Here's your 2-car garage, pretty typical size 2-car garage. Then you come in, here's your guest bedrooms, AC closet there, linen closet right in front of us here, bedroom number 1. So really, I see this being primarily, honestly, geared more towards retirees, but also it can definitely work for young families, but the rooms aren't real big. So just kind of something to keep in mind. You do have a nice walk-in closet in the guest or kids rooms, but the bedrooms aren't super big. Here's the guest or kids bath. Here's the other bedroom. Now they've got this one set up as a workout room with the little dresser and TV on the wall. As you can see, again, not real big. It does also have its walk-in closet. Here's your laundry room. Pretty big laundry room. Nice big counter with the sink, cabinets. And they did this built-in here, which is a nice little built-in bookshelf there. And then the dining room's kind of tucked back into this niche. You're probably not gonna get a lot bigger than a seating for 6 here. But when you're talking a home like this, like I said, primarily designed, I think, more as like a retiree or young family home, you're probably not gonna need more dining than for 6. Nice kitchen, a little bit smaller island, geared towards taking up a little bit less space because it's a smaller home. But it's still very functional. You still got the nice big corner pantry, plenty of cabinets and counter space. Again, we're in Lakewood Ranch. We're cooking with gas. Good size, great room, good size family room here. And then here's your primary bedroom. Now, this thing is huge. This is probably a little bit bigger than it needs to be, but it's the way the house laid out. So Tons of space, huge primary suite. Got a nice sized walk-in closet here. Here's your primary bath. Again, linen closet right here. You got the double vanity. You got room for the drawers. They didn't put them in here, but you can always do that. Nice walk-in shower. Secondary closet here. So if that one's not quite big enough out there, you got another one in here. You got the throne room again. And here's a view of shower. All right, let's go check out the lanai. And again, they put the pocket sliders on this. That's a super popular structural option that I would recommend doing. I like it a lot. And this one, they show you the standard lanai and just a small little lanai extension that you can do. So if you just want a little bit more space out here, there you go. Nice little screen cage, basically double the size of the standard lanai. All right, so that's the Dream, which is the larger of the two single-story floor plans in the smaller of the single-family detached home series. So we're gonna take a quick break and jump in and show you the amenities because you don't wanna miss that. I mean, this is one of Neil's flagship communities. They have incredible amenities. So we're gonna show you the amenities and then we're gonna jump back in and look at some more homes. And because this is a family-friendly neighborhood, we're gonna get to see some 2 stories in the same series, the smaller series. And then we'll jump into the next series up, which is a little bit wider homes. We've got a 1-story, 2-story in that, which are incredible homes if you're looking for something really big and nice. So stick around, check it out. All right, here we are at the Windward in Lakewood Ranch Amenity Center. This is the entrance into the fitness center, as you can see here. Unfortunately, everybody was tied up with clients. This place is packed and popping. So nobody was available to get me into the amenities, but you can see fitness center here, got a nice gym. So we're gonna have to see what we can see from outside the fences. But you got playground here. So as you can tell, this is an all ages community, very family friendly. That's out to the pool area. There are 2 pools here. This is a big community. So there's gonna be just under 800 doors. So significant amenities to support that 800 doors. Now I say this is a big community. It's really not that big. It's kind of really more of a mid-sized community at 800 doors. There's a lot of land here. But that is because there's over 5 miles of trails throughout Windward alone before you even get outside of Windward, which is really a signature. You got 2 tennis courts here. That's a signature of Neil Communities, is they, especially in their flagship style communities like Windward here. So this is more of the fun resort style pool over here. As you can see, there's a little playground in there. Lots of chairs, lounge chairs, tons of space, but there's 2 pools. So this is more of the fun resort style pool, and then further over there, you can maybe see the guy cleaning the pool. That's the lap pool over there. So 8 pickleball courts. You got 4 here and then 4 more over there. And there's also a dog park, 2 dog parks actually. So got a big dog park and a little dog park, of course. Gotta keep them separate. There's plenty of people out there with their dogs playing. See if we can come around this way to the main clubhouse. But like I was saying with Neo Communities, they're very big on keeping a lot of natural preserve areas throughout the communities and strategically placing them to provide a lot more privacy around the homes. So you'll see like sections of homes and then all of a sudden there's preserve. You got this huge event lawn over here, games, parties. They use it for all kinds of stuff, Easter egg hunts, all that kind of good stuff. And so yeah, there's a lot of natural wildlife preserve scattered throughout the community and walking trails through it. So here is the main clubhouse. Very, very well designed, nicely decorated. Got kind of a Caribbean design theme to it. This is basically the big banquet party room. There's card rooms in there and all that. And then the other building, like I said, is the fitness center. So, and there is a yoga studio and everything in the other side of the fitness center as well. Let's see if we can go through this way. So you got these cabanas over here by the pool. They got music going. There's another smaller event lawn here on the way into the pool area from this side. So here's an example over here across the street where just a lot of wildlife preserve and everything that they've kept instead of developing it and putting more houses in, filling it in. There's a pond back in there, but that's all wetland preserve, so you can see these homes back up to that, giving a lot of privacy instead of backing up to other homes or anything. But they really did a nice job here of making that pool area super private too. You can't really see a whole lot of it from anywhere outside along the fence. They've got so much landscaping, very pretty, very nicely done. I mean, you can see they've even added a few more of these 4 extra oak trees out here more recently. But very pretty neighborhood. Very typical Neil style. They're almost, I guess, what I would call like semi-custom of the production builders. Like more in that, I would put them a step above like the Lennars, the D.R. Hortons, they've even got more customization than like the Pulte, DeVasta, Del Webb brands. They've got more structural design options and a much more in-depth design studio, I would say, but not quite on the luxury level or the price level of a Toll Brothers. So that's why I say they're kind of like in between. So if you want the ability to modify, customize, it's a great way to go without getting super crazy expensive. So what'd you think of the amenities? This is a pretty top-notch community. You got multiple pools, fantastic clubhouse. Got everything but a golf course, basically. So, if you like it and you're ready, you've already seen the home you want, call us, text us at the number on the screen. Otherwise, let's dive back in and look at the rest of these homes and let's talk pricing. What's up, y'all? We are here at Windward in Lakewood Ranch, and we're checking out the model homes right now. This is the Heritage. It's about a 2,400, just over 2,400 square foot, 4-bed, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, 2-story home. Let's go check it out. Now this home, I'm gonna say, really is geared towards affordable family living. This is one of the most affordable, bigger homes here in the neighborhood, bigger 2 stories. So it's really geared towards affordability. We're gonna hop straight up the stairs to start. Now, for those that aren't familiar with Neil Homes, they are I'm gonna call them near luxury kind of production builder. It's hard to describe because they do have a lot more flexibility on pre-construction stuff than most of your other typical production builders. They allow a lot of structural changes. You're not gonna be like moving walls and stuff like that, like manually just drawing your own floor plan or anything, but they've got a lot of structural options that you can change if you're building from scratch. But they also build a lot of inventory homes, so there's a lot of quick move-in stuff, which is really nice as well. I mean, in this neighborhood, they've got like over 40 quick move-in homes available right now. So, upstairs here, basically, the whole upstairs is like the kids' playground in my mind for this home. So you've got this massive bonus room loft area, fantastic second living area for the kids. I mean, obviously you've got, as you see this set up with the desks, you got the couch, you got the TV. Can easily be a great spot for gaming. Nice big kids bedroom here. And there are 3 of them up here. Walk-in closet. That's gonna be the AC closet right there. Then you got another bedroom here. Also, good sized room, also with the walk-in closet. Here's the shared bathroom upstairs. I do wish it had a double vanity. You know, if you got 3 kids' bedrooms up here, I'm assuming it's because you got at least 2, maybe 3 kids, maybe even 4 kids as this is set up with the bunk beds. So potentially I would like to see, you know, ideally a second sink in there, but is what it is. So that's the upstairs. And like I said, basically the kids' living quarters is the entire upstairs. Then you come down here. Now they've set this up. I will say this is a nice setup where you got your front door right there, and then this is where you come in from your 2-car garage, come into the house. So it's nice. There's really only need for like 1 drop zone, whether you come in the front door or whether you come in the garage door, you've got that set up there. Here's your half bath for your guests downstairs. And then here's your main living area. Very functional, very efficient layout. They did a really good job. Like I said, I mean, it's designed for affordable, larger family living. Got a nice, great room setup, got the tray ceiling. Nice big kitchen. You could easily do 4 bar stools here if you wanted to. These stools are quite wide. It's Lakewood Ranch, so it's all gas. You got laundry here. Nice big pantry. And then let's go look at the primary suite here. Primary bath, you got the linen closet here, you got double vanity, got some drawers, got the throne room, nice walk-in shower, plenty of space. They even put the valve in the right spot. And then a nice big walk-in closet. Let's go check out the lanai. Now this one they did a nice big pavered lanai extension. So you got the covered lanai here. Good size. Not huge, but not tiny either. So I mean, I think it's very nice size. Got the pocketing sliding doors, so those will collapse back behind the wall. So they did a nice big pavered extension on the lanai here. So you can do that. As you'll see in one of the others, you could do a pool, you could do a screen cage, you can do a lot of different things, whatever you want to do, but this is kind of a cool setup you don't see very often. Got the outdoor dining area, got the lounge chairs out here. So you've got a lot of flexibility with the space. It's your backyard, you can do whatever you want with it for the most part. So that was the Heritage, which is the middle of the 3 different 2-story floor plans in this cruise series. Those are the narrower homes. What'd you think? Stick around if you're looking for a 2-story and you didn't like that one. We've got another one coming up here in the next series, which is the Celebration series. They're a little bit wider, so they got a little more flexibility in how they lay them out. But we're not going to show you that yet. We're going to jump back down to a 1-story in that Celebration series first. So check that. Then we're going to get into pricing and costs. All right. So we're here at Windward, Lakewood Ranch, Neal Communities, and we're going to take a look now at the Applause. This is one of their little bit wider series homes. These are 40-foot wide homes. So a little bit wider when you walk in. This is a little over 2,100 square foot, 3-bed, 3-bath, 2-car garage. So, and a little bit different layout. So when we walk in the front door, you've got basically like a formal living room here, kind of. Or as they've got it set up, a second sitting area, kind of den office space. Interesting. So 8-foot doors, 9'4" ceilings, and everything's very separated. So here's your 2-car garage where you're coming in. I will say it's got a really nice wide garage, wider than most. So if you wanted space for shelving or workshop or kayaks or bikes or something like that in the garage, this is a good one to get that garage, that wider garage. You got one kind of junior suite here with its own private bathroom. Nice sized bedroom. Not a bunch of wasted space, but also not too small. There's plenty of room for a dresser there on the wall, the foot of the bed if you wanted to. And then that's the AC closet there, that door, and then laundry over there we'll take a peek at in a second. This bath right here doubles as your main house guest bath, as well as the guest bath for this bedroom that we're going to take a peek at. So you do have a linen closet in here, all your typical guest bath stuff. And then here's the 3rd bedroom. Obviously they've got it set up as an art studio. They even painted the shirts in the closet. That's nice. Nice little touch. My wife would say this is definitely still staged though. She's an artist and there's no paint or stuff all over the table. She would never have bought a fancy, nice table like that to use as her workstation. You should see what her, her studio looks like in our house. So here's your laundry room. Got the cabinets, got the washer dryer, got the sink. And then we come through here to the main living area. And again, very good use of space in here. There's not a whole lot of dead space or wasted space. You got the tray ceilings as an option here. Nice little living area, not too big, but also not too small. I mean, you still got room for a couple of chairs on top of the couch, or you could easily put a love seat on one side or the other, or do a sectional. Great sized kitchen. Got a nice pantry there in the corner. And then here's your dining room. You can do square, you could do circle, you could do rectangular table here. Plenty of space there. This has got the pocket sliders. We'll take a peek out at the lanai here in just a minute. Let's take a look first at the primary suite. And this is big. Look, you got this sitting area here. You got these two big old overstuffed chairs. King size bed, 2 nightstands, plenty of room. You got the dresser over here. Nice size walk-in. On that side, you got another one over here. I'm not a big fan of the bifolds, but I get it. You got a pretty narrow hallway here, so it'll make use of the space, and the bifolds use less space. Double vanity, they're connected. Not my favorite thing in the world. No drawers, but there may be, if you were to build one, there may be some modification to that. You do have the linen closet in here as well, and nice walk-in shower. Let's go check out the lanai. So, not a very big lanai on this one, as far as the covered lanai. They did do the pocket sliders here again. As you can see, not a very big lanai. You got the 4 chairs, you got the table. I mean, you could scoot those back a little bit so you get a little bit more room coming out. It feels pretty tight here. It does have the gas stub out. If you want to do an outdoor kitchen here, that's going to eat into your space even more. I'm not sure that I would do that on this home. And then here's your pool area. I mean, the deck goes the full width of the home just about. At least the fence does. You could go wider with the fence. You're allowed to go to your property line if you do a fence and not a cage. But yeah, I mean, this is a very basic standard pool. For someone who wants a pool but doesn't want to spend a lot of money, this is your spot. That's the way to go. So that was the applause. Do you have any for that home? Let us know in the comments. Okay, dad joke, I know. Anyways, next up, we've got the 2-story in this celebration series. So we're gonna dive into that. And then pricing, don't forget, gotta watch all the way through, gotta get the costs, wanna know what it costs to live. It's all coming up. All right, Windward, Lakewood Ranch, Neo Communities. Now we're looking at the Legacy. This is a 2-story example of their 40-foot wide homes. Now, I don't know about you, but this reminds me a lot of like an old colonial, like up north, kind of northeast style home. Not a whole lot of character. It's basically a giant 2-story box with a little front porch sticking off the front. So I'm not the biggest fan of the front elevation. However, it is actually a really nice house inside. The nice thing about a big 2-story box is it has a lot of space. This thing is almost just under 3,000 square feet, a little over 2,900. 4 or 5 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. It's a very, very efficient use of space again. I will say Neil does a very good job of that, and they allow you a lot of customization options. So you have the flexibility to make modifications, make changes, things like that. You know, maybe paint this a little different color than white, because then it won't look so much like those old white colonial 2-stories. So you got a den here on the first floor. I am almost positive that this is what would become the 5th bedroom. I don't know that I would do it that way because there's not a full bathroom down here on the first floor. But if you need the extra closet space, or just a just in case guest bedroom, something like that, where someone needs to be on the first floor, then sure. Nice big understair storage closet. And we'll take a look at the first floor first. Nice, really, really big great room. So this kind of takes the Heritage that we saw before. The Heritage is a 33-foot wide home. This is a 40-foot wide home. So this is gonna give you, that's how you get the extra 500 square feet basically. So if you've got a bigger family, need a little bit more space, have the budget for a little bit more, but still trying to keep it as affordable as possible, but going a little bit bigger, this is probably your way to do it. Much bigger main living area, much bigger dining room. Here's the kitchen. This has got an even bigger island with you got the 4 bar stools here. Of course, it's Lakewood Ranch, you got the gas. Nice big corner pantry, plenty of room for all the kids. There is a half bath down here for your guests that aren't staying the night. There's a linen closet right there. Here's where your drop zone goes. You got the 2-car garage. It's not as big as the Applause was, if you see that one. Not quite as much space, but there is still a little bit of room on either side of the garage door. Let's go take a look upstairs. Now, all the bedrooms are upstairs on this one. Plus, you've got an even bigger loft than what the Legacy has. Again, bigger house, you get more space. Big enough to have a teepee in the loft. And some giant playing cards. So, nice big loft area. Here's your shared bath. Now this one has the double vanity. It's one thing that I knocked the Heritage for. It didn't have the double vanity. This one does. It's also got some drawers in between, which is nice. And then it's got the toilet and the shower in a separate room. So kids are brushing their teeth, somebody else can be taking a shower, multiple people can get ready at the same time in the same bathroom. Nice big bedrooms, again. Plenty of room in here. And all of them are set up that way. Here's the laundry. Nice and centrally located in between all the bedrooms, right off the primary closet. I like that. Big fan of that setup. And then here's your primary suite. Plenty of space in here, nice big room. Huge walk-in closet. Big old L shape around the laundry room. Now I'd put additional shelving on this wall. I don't know, it gets a little tight if you do it here, but you could easily do it here for sure. And even something, a little bit something here if you want it. Then let's check out the primary bath. Nice vanity. Got the double sink, got the drawers, got the linen closet, got the shower, got the throne room. What y'all think? Go check out the lanai. Now again, you've got the pocket sliders here. I don't know how we got a bird in here. Somebody left the door open. So you got the pocket sliders. Again, you got a nice size lanai. This is a little bit bigger than some of the others that we've seen so far. So nice big lanai. Wider home means you get wider space on the wider pool area. This has got the cage on it. And of course they did the clear view screen to show you what that looks like. So this is a little bit higher end pool, a little bit bigger. You got the fountain, you got the sun shelf, all this extra space, the cage. And there you have, that's the Legacy. So that's the Legacy. And believe it or not, there's still 2 more 2-stories bigger than that in this series. So if it's not quite big enough, they got bigger ones. Unfortunately, they didn't have models, so we can't show them to you. But I mean, we're basically at 3,000 square feet in this one. You can go all the way up to 32, almost 3,300 square feet. So what'd you think? You like it? Big enough? Too big? Drop it in the comments. Let us know. There is a smaller 2-story as well available in this series. But are y'all ready to jump in and see what it will actually cost to live in this amazing neighborhood here? All right, so we're gonna start back at the beginning. If you remember that far back, I know these were a ton of model homes to go through, lots of stuff to watch. That's because there are even more floor plans. I mean, we only did 2 models of each series except for the coastal, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 different floor plans available here at Windward. So if none of those were quite right, don't worry. There's probably one that will work for you. They can't build a model of every single home, although Neil really does a good job of trying to represent. I mean, 7 model homes is a ton for one neighborhood. So we're gonna jump back to the beginning, start with the villas. Crystal Sand, which is a smaller one, about 1,400 square feet. And these two are only 100 square feet apart from each other. Just a little bit different layout as you saw. Base price on that Crystal Sand is $389,990. Again, I always repeat this in every single video, so I apologize if you've heard it before, but if this is your first video, that's why I say it. Base prices are base prices. That is the starting price. You will almost never pay, when you're buying new construction, you'll almost never pay the base price as your bottom line price. There's gonna be stuff added. There's typically home site premiums for most of the home sites. There's typically options and upgrades. So, base price is really kind of the advertised price that they put up on the big signs out front so that they can say, oh, look, we have homes starting at this. It never ends at that, right? However, with the quick move-ins, you can get some really good deals a lot of times. So we're even gonna tell you what you can actually buy these homes for today. If you buy it today, because there's no guarantees that they're still available tomorrow. So let's jump in. Crystal Sand, base price, $389,990. There are no quick move-in Crystal Sands available right now, so you're gonna be more than that. And I don't have a quick move-in price to give you because they don't have any. But on the Tidewater, they do. They've actually got 4 different Tidewater villas available. Why do they have 4 of them and no Crystal Sands? Because typically the Tidewaters sell a little bit more frequently than crystal sands. When they have people coming in asking to build, most people ask to build a Tidewater. So it is the more popular floor plan. That's why they build more of them. So they've got 4 available as of right now. List price, and because they're quick move-ins, we're going to talk the discounts too. But list price on these Tidewaters, they're virtually all identical. You know, different features, different finishes, countertop colors, cabinet colors, flooring colors, shower tile colors. Those things are going to be different, but the floor plan's the same. Views are pretty close to the same, which is why all of them, all 4 of them, are priced within $2,000 of each other. So list prices are $497,990 to $499,990. Now they are all discounted right now, about $30,000. So down to $467,990 to $469,990. And as always, if you've heard this before as well, we have some extra incentives and discounts that we can get you and give to you. We're not allowed to talk about them because they change all the time. So you gotta call us so we can talk if this is what you're looking for. So that's what your pricing is roughly, all-in pricing on these villas on the Tidewater, which is a little bit more expensive. Oh, by the way, that Tidewater base price, $402,990. Now, you wanna know total cost of living to get in here, right? That's what everybody always asks. Great, we know what it costs to buy the house, but what does it cost to carry it? So, taxes on these villas are gonna run, and this tax includes the CDD fee, because if you're looking at Lakewood Ranch, every neighborhood has a CDD. In fact, if you're looking at any of these big master plan developments like this, whether you're comparing Lakewood Ranch to Welland Park or to Babcock Ranch or any of that, they're all gonna have a CDD. The CDD fee is going to be a little bit different, but at the end of the day, it's going to show up on your tax bill. It's not an additional fee that you're paying separately like your HOA fee. So CDD fees are included in these tax numbers. So if you're looking at a fee sheet that you get from them later on, don't add it twice because it's already in the tax bill. Taxes on these villas typically going to run somewhere between $6,000 and $7,000 a year, including that CDD fee, depending on whether it's your primary residence or not, which would allow you to get the homestead exemption. Insurance is going to run somewhere in the $1,400 to $1,500, maybe $1,600 a year range, depending on the floor plan and what options and upgrades you put into the home, and if you do a pool or something like that. So that's it. Oh, and the HOA fees. You want to know what those are, right? HOA fees are $246 a month on the villas. So villas are going to be the lowest because they've got the smallest yards. So lawn maintenance is covered, access to all those amenities is covered, all that's taken care of, $246 a month, which for those amenities is cheap. Very rarely are you going to find a neighborhood under $300 a month with those type of amenities. So that's what you're looking at for the villas. Now, let's jump into that cruise series. That's going to be, in terms of the models, the Dream and the Heritage. So you've got the single story and the 2-story. Both of those fall into this category. They do have one smaller single family home. So if you just can't get over sharing a wall with a neighbor, you can get a 1,531 square foot single family home. It's only about 25, 30 grand more expensive. So you can get in, and they do have a base price is not 25 to 30 grand more. Base price is $469,990, so it's about almost 70 grand more than the villa. But they've got a quick move in right now. I don't know how much it's discounted exactly because somebody over at Neil Homes, I'm going to have to talk to their marketing person, forgot to put what the actual original list price was on this home. But it's discounted all the way down to $524,990. So you can right now, if you want single family, if you don't like the idea of that one shared wall, you can get in for 25, 27 grand more to a detached single family home for about the same size in the Liberty. So that is an option. The Dream model, which you saw, is the bigger of the 2 single stories. Base price on that one is $494,990. They do have 2 quick move-ins. One of them is priced at $551,990. The other one's $564,990 right now. So those are going to run list price. Again, they didn't include full list price for me, but you're somewhere in the ballpark of probably $590,000 to $600,000 is what I'm going to guess on a full price completed dream with the equivalent finishes and home site premiums of these two. HOA fees for the cruise series is $290 a month. So you're still, even on the single families, under $300 a month with the bigger yard, a little bit more lawn maintenance and all that. Taxes are going to run kind of similar to the villas. You're going to be somewhere between $6,000 and $8,000 a year probably, and your insurance is going to run somewhere in that, starting around the same $1,500-ish up to probably $2,200, $2,500. Could go as much as $3,000 if you do, all the way the biggest 2-story with the pool and all that stuff. Then yeah, you might be getting into $3,000 a month or $3,000 a year range on insurance. Now we're going to jump up into that celebration series. Those are the wider, not the biggest ones, but the wider 40-foot wide homes. So those range anywhere from 2,000 square feet to 3,200 square foot 2-story. They don't have a lot of quick move-ins here, and they don't have any quick move-ins in the celebration or they're quick-ish move-ins. They're not finished, so they're not discounted, or at least not drastically. And quite frankly, they don't have a lot of quick move-in stuff, a lot of inventory homes here at Windward. So if you notice these discounts, like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 discounts, that's nothing compared to what some of the other builders are doing right now, because people are buying at Windward without them putting these big discounts in. That's why they don't have a ton of this quick move-in inventory for such a big neighborhood with a lot of different options. So Windward is super popular. People are buying there even without the discounts. So just keep that in mind if you like it and this is your spot. We've still got some stuff we can get for you, but it's not going to be $100,000, $200,000 discounts like we're seeing in some of these other neighborhoods. So 2,000 square foot to almost 3,250 square foot. The Applause is the model we looked at, 2,100 square feet. They don't have any quick move-ins, nothing even under construction right now that they've got listed. So that's going to be a to-be-built. Base price on those $571,990. They do have the next size up, the Triumph. They do have one of those under construction, so it's not heavily discounted because it's not finished yet. It's about 2,300 square foot, 4-bedroom, 3 full bath, 2-car garage, base price $591,990. And they've got one, the list price on it is $715,990. And then the Legacy was the model you saw. That's the almost 3,000 square foot, base price of $619,990. They don't have a quick movement of that one either, or any of those 2 stories. Now, HOA fees on that celebration series, now you're up into the 350s, 358 a month is the HOA fees on those. Your taxes on those are going to run somewhere typically between $7,000 and $10,000 a year, depending on homestead exemption and which particular home you choose in terms of value. And then insurance on them is going to run probably from about $1,700 a year on the smaller ones, all the way up to you probably reaching $3,500, maybe even $4,000 a year on the biggest 2-story with a pool and all that. So that's it for the celebration series. And then the Big Daddy Coastal Series 60-foot homes. They've got 5 different plans. The middle one, which is the Savannah at just under 2,900 square feet. Base price on that is $870,990. And they do have one under construction. Now this is being built with a pool. List price on it is $1,199,990. And they do also have the biggest home that they build here, which is the Kiowa with the bonus room. So this is a 2-story. It's got the big bonus area up top. 3,654 square feet, base price of $953,990. It is under construction right now. Again, with a pool, your full list price on that one's going to be $1,412,990. Now, fees, taxes, insurance on these. Of course, when you're talking homes that range from 2,500 square foot to 3,700 square feet and base prices of, looking in the 800s all the way up to $1.5 million, something like that, you're going to have a wide range of taxes and insurance, but HOA fees are $455 a month on those. And the taxes are going to range somewhere between 10 and probably 17, 18 grand a year. And your insurance is going to range likely starting in the $2,500 to $3,000 a year range. If you don't do a pool on the Sanibel, the smaller 2,500 square foot plan. If you're going all the way up to the Kiowa with the bonus room and a pool and all that, you're probably closer to in the 5 to 6 grand a year range. So that's what you're looking at for costs. What do you think? Does this seem like the spot for you? If it does, call us, text us, numbers on the screen. Any questions, concerns, anything like that, or maybe it doesn't feel like the right spot. We've got other videos here of other neighborhoods in the area. Check those out as well, or pick up the phone and call us, text us, get in touch so that we can help you figure out, point you in the right direction. If you want to watch more videos, we got them. You're welcome to. If you want to dive in and really figure out the right spot for you and you want our help, call us. We're happy to take those calls. We're happy to talk to you, find you the right neighborhood, find you the right home. Talk to you soon.